Let's go explore this giant mansion on top of this hill. It's just awesome. And right now the fall colors are just amazing.
It's exhausting. This is like the new norm.
Constant storms.
Constant storms. Go us on planning tides.
Yay!
Here, we're gonna follow it up.
It says, hey, your alternator is not working. And that's what the light is for.
Oh.
So, meaning this belt here is slipping.
I got some keywords. Voltage, low voltage, and alternator. Just another day. Has to be Panda. Strangford Lough was an ideal cruising ground for us. It offered a lot of anchorages, free visitor moorings, hiking trails, plenty of historical sites and castles to explore, as well as new sailing challenges for us to experience, among other challenges. I'm already muddy. We've been walking for like maybe 30 minutes. Yep. Black was a bad choice. I don't think anyone ever told us how muddy it was going to be in the UK. And like in much of the UK, we were learning it was full of livestock grazing freely. You could walk right through if there's no signage saying otherwise. We noticed a lot of public footpaths would cross through these grazing areas. And your right to access this land is called right to roam or freedom to roam. The right to roam is an ancient custom that allows anyone to wander in the open countryside, whether the land is privately or publicly owned. And we were definitely enjoying this newfound roaming. We spent multiple days here exploring every part of the Castle Ward grounds.
We've come up the hill and we've reached the Ward house, I think it is. It's like this big mansion on top of a hill we can see from our anchorage, which is really cool. And it's just gorgeous, like beautiful grounds, everything's all manicured, and some beautiful plants. What do you think, Panda?
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah, check out this view behind us. Oh, freaking epic.
There's a rainbow.
Yeah, this is a really picturesque mansion that was built here. Don't know much of the history yet. I think it was built sometime in the 1700s or 1800s. Castle Ward, I guess this family purchased the whole area, including a castle, all the grounds, and then built this giant mansion on top of this hill. And it's just awesome. Really good view of Strangford Lough. And right now the fall colors are just amazing. Like the trees are so bright orange and reds and golds. Yeah. This is like one reason we were excited to come here in the fall and winter time frame, is get to see all these colors. And there's also no one around. It is completely empty, which that's a great feeling to explore a place without other people around.
Completed in 1766, Castle Ward is a particularly unusual building, famed for having been built with two completely different architectural styles, both inside and out. One half is built in the classical style and the other half in Gothic. The story goes that the original builder of the house, Bernard Ward, 1st Viscount Bangor, did not agree with his wife, Lady Anne, on the decor, both having clearly different tastes and leading them to split the house down the middle. The estate even features two distinctive landscape designs, the 17th and 18th century Temple Water and the 19th century Windsor Garden.
What do you think about this garden?
It's gorgeous, and it's all symmetrical, so it satisfies the soul. Some may see the house as a compromise, but I would like to think of it more of a collaboration.
All right, so interesting fact here. In Northern Ireland, where we're at in the winter time, this is like, what month is this? November. We're in the middle of November. And this is as high as the sun is getting this time of year. So where's the sun? We have the sun right behind us here, right here. This is like a height above the horizon. This is noontime. This is it. And it's just awesome to get some sun finally. But not a lot of it. And it sets really early. Like daylight is getting very minimal here. But we have this little bit of sun, the nice mansion in the background, very pretty. Check out how muddy this is. Ugh.
We've spotted the standing stone. There are traces of human habitation among Castleward grounds dating back to Neolithic times, evidenced by the standing stone and beside it a matching stone lying on the ground. The stone is so understated and quite a bit smaller than the ones we had seen in Scotland, but we seem to have stumbled into the epicenter for these ancient and mysterious sites.
Well, we found another standing stone. Apparently these are like a thing up here in these northern parts where our ancestors years ago put stones in a standing formation. In this case, there's just one. It's not even multiple, but little do they know how crazy we'd go over stones that are standing now.
They are widely distributed across Europe, Africa, and Asia, but most numerous in Western Europe, particularly in Ireland, Great Britain, and Brittany, where there are about 50,000 examples. Although standing stones are usually difficult to date, you have to wonder whether they all could be connected somehow. At least that was one of our thoughts as we stopped to enjoy the view and a snack contemplating the reasoning for erecting such stones. We learned a lot while we were here. Foraging, birdwatching, the history of Castleward grounds, and most importantly, we were still learning the timing to go ashore with these huge tides. We were also starting to really feel the highs and lows of cruising in the off-season. We were consistently contending with big storms passing through every few days.
Well, it's gusting pretty good today. We have a decent cold front coming through. So like all night we had 20 to 30 knots of wind. So right now that's like a gust up to 25, 26 knots. It's pretty decent, 27.
Sailing around Strangford Lough was fun and exciting. We really had to time the tides, watch the depths, avoid numerous small islands and rocks, and we always had enough wind to sail on and off the mooring. We were sailing on to the next stop, Ringhaddy Sound, where we were lucky that a local offered us his mooring buoy since it was an extremely tidal anchorage. Over the next few days, we enjoyed roaming around the area, sometimes just for a reprieve from the wind and the sound of the mooring buoy banging on the side of the hull in the strong current.
All right, let's go explore. Look at these huge cradles to, I guess, put big boats in the water. Some for like tall sailboats. That's pretty neat. Ah, these peaceful over here. I'm really enjoying this walk. This is like beautiful Irish countryside. These sheep and farms. How's it going? Hi.
Yeah, that's it right there. Right there.
So today we're exploring Skuttrick Island, which is right outside of White Rock. It's been a beautiful walk so far. It's like a little trail that goes around the island. And we saw a castle that had been, the earliest known record is 1470. And it's in ruins now, but it was really cool. You could walk around it, and you don't feel like you get to do that too often. The castle is actually estimated to go back to the 12th century, but the earliest known record is from 1470, when it was captured by Sir Henry O'Neill's army and handed over to MacQuillan of Dufferin, and experienced a turbulent history in warfare through the 15th and 16th centuries. Ironically, after surviving many assaults, it wasn't a siege that led to the castle's collapse and ruin, but a particularly violent storm in 1896. It would have originally been 4 stories high with a boat bay and subterranean passage. There were 4 chambers at ground level. The largest had a vault and what was believed to be 2 brick ovens. When you look up at the surviving wall, you can see a line of weep holes, which allowed rain to drain from the roof, and now is home to many birds.
Were you scared of walking through?
I was a little uneasy. One had horns, and one sign we read recently was like about a bull, like be careful, there's a bull around. So I was like, I'm looking out for that, but also by putting a disclaimer or like before these pen areas makes me a little uneasy, because I'm like, oh well, if they're saying that, there must be something that happened. But they could care less. They're probably used to people, and it was fine. They're so cute.
I think we're here at Strangford Yacht Club. They were super nice, let us park our dinghy and kind of get to shore. And yeah, we had a beautiful walk all around. But now the sun is out. We're gonna take this opportunity to head back. I think the wind's calmed down too, so it shouldn't be too wet of a ride. But yeah, you can see all the boats here and their little clubhouse. And we're off. Today we are going sailing, and it was really cool. For the first time, Panda sailed off the mooring ball, tacked the boat herself up this tight little river, and now we're out sailing in the loch. What did you think about that?
It was really narrow channel with these shallow bankings, and I think that's what has me nervous, is running aground. So yeah, we had to do a lot of tacks to get out of there, and there wasn't much wind, but we finally made it out, and it's actually really great sailing today. It's on the beam right now. We're gonna tack our way to Coyle and pick up another mooring ball there. morning. It is time for errands. We are gonna go into town, which is Killyleagh. Killyleagh. Killyleagh?
I don't know.
I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I feel like I'm really bad with all these town names. But we're going into town and we're gonna do a little explore, and we have to get some gas, some petrol, and and we have to get rid of our trash, and then we're gonna go to the store and see if we can get some more fresh produce. So yeah, it's a beautiful cloudy day and it's not too windy. Hoping we don't get too wet along the way.
It's not too cold either.
Yeah, I guess so. It's
With this like
really
southerly
cold.
wind, it kind of warms up compared to like when we get, I don't know, I guess once a front passes, then it gets really cold. But this is pleasant out today.
Yeah, I think it is really nice out.
Yeah.
If it wasn't as windy, like it'd probably be like I could not wear a jacket.
Right. Yeah, looking forward to exploring this town and yeah, getting some of these errands done. Okay, we're in the city. I just have a little order of operation. Need to fuel the fuel.
Feel the fuel.
Fill the petrol tank. We'll drop it back in the dinghy. So now we can explore the city, walk around, so I'm not carrying fuel everywhere. And then we'll get groceries and go back to the dinghy. So
Perfect.
yeah, fuel.
Do you pay first?
No, man, this is Europe. They trust in you. So you just fill up and then
Oh
you
my
go
God.
inside and then you pay for what you've used.
This is so weird.
There's no
I know I don't
credit
see any
cards,
credit
nothing.
card machine out here.
So unleaded, which is green, which is a little different because in the States, green would be
Green is
diesel.
diesel.
But here, black is diesel and green is petrol. So this is what we want. Petrol, it's 95 octane. Perfect. It started. Did you see that? I did that. How was your toilet experience?
It was very pleasant. Everything was touchless, except for the door handle, obviously. I love that the European countries have these toilets situated in public areas a lot. I feel like that's not as common in the States, and they're actually really well maintained.
Right, check out this castle.
Oh, all the poppies.
This is an occupied private home. The gates are often left open so that you may...
Same thing. Castle.
Oh, so you could just look from here.
View.
View the castle from this point.
Someone actually lives here?
Oh yeah. Can you read the sign? It said it was the oldest occupied castle in Ireland.
Wow.
The architecturally stunning Killyleagh Castle, designed more like a French chateau than an Irish castle, is believed to be the oldest inhabited castle in the country, with parts dating back to 1180, and has been owned by the Hamilton family since the early 17th century. The Hamiltons have now opened 2 of the towers as self-catering accommodation, and occasionally has hosted concerts.
Really, really beautiful up there. Oh, there's a bunch of like school kids playing like normal kids do. Alright, so there's this thing here, at least we've seen in the UK, where there's like sister cities from a city in the UK to a city in the US, and there'll be a sign. And in this case, Killyleagh here is twinned with Cleveland, North Carolina. I've never heard of Cleveland, North Carolina, but that's pretty interesting.
came back and this little river offlow, whatever it is, where we parked the dinghy is just overflowing. It's nuts.
There's so much water. The tide this is like a king tide, whatever,
It's a
high
king
tide.
tide.
High tide.
Yeah, it's an extra high tide, which is like a little over 4 meters. So it's filled to the brim. Like Rocco is just on the edge of the sidewalk here, which is not how we left it. It's nuts. And the little like opening where the water comes out is almost full too.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
Wow. This is gonna be a wet ride.
Going a little crazy outside. Beautiful though.
I need my beanie first.
I'm tired. She needs her beanie first. She's also remembering when we didn't have to put clothes on in the morning, when we lived in a warm climate. But now, the first thing we do when we get out of bed is we get fully dressed.
I missed that.
Yeah. The last night was a little windy. There's a low pressure system moving in towards Ireland that made like probably steady 30 knots of wind at times with gusts up to 40.
Yeah.
It was seriously just howling out. So it started like 2 a.m. So we're pretty much like up all night after that. I even had to go out and like quiet down some halyards that were making noise.
So we were just sitting here watching The Mandalorian, also running the generator, and our carbon monoxide detector just went off, like beeping, beeping. Darren was like, "What is that?"
Beep, beep,
It's like,
beep, beep.
I think I know what it is. It's the carbon monoxide detector. I mean,
Beep, beep, beep.
wow, it works. We had the generator too close to the air intake, right on the where our diesel air heater takes in air, so it was taking in the exhaust from that and giving it into the cabin.
Yeah, I think so. And it was just enough to trip this. I mean, I don't think it's enough to be harmful to us. This is a really low, like,
Yeah,
it's really sensitive, but that's really good. It actually works.
so we know it works. That
Yeah.
makes me feel really good.
And now we know we should not put the portable generator in the cockpit when we're running it. I put it down there because it was raining
Yeah,
instead of just covering it like I usually do. But
but I guess
yeah.
you could have put it on the other side instead of close to that.
yeah, that's true too.
Anyway, we have all the hatches open and trying to air out the boat. We put the carbon monoxide detector in fresh air to clear the signal and hopefully it won't beep at us any longer. But that was a little scary, and also feels good to know that technology is working on our side, keeping us safe.
So we slept in this morning. It's like almost noon. The wind's still howling, but it's calmed down like a little bit. Kind of shifted position too.
It's exhausting. This is like the new norm. It's like
Constant storms.
constant storms. I can't remember the last time it was like a calm night sleep. Or if it is, it's only like every other 3 days or something.
Right.
I don't know. It's exhausting. It's gonna start wearing on me. I imagine this place to be a lot more protected, but it's definitely not like Scotland or Greenland, where there's mountains that can protect you from these storms. The hills are just not big enough to, like, you can park in front of one, but it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't really stop the wind.
No.
No. But at least the sea state's really low. Like we're up in this river, and so like the water's pretty much flat. I mean, like it has some waves, but nothing that affects this boat. So that's comfortable. It's just the wind is just so loud. And we're on a mooring ball here, which was really comforting, just knowing like you're not gonna drag anchor or have to worry about your ground tackle. So like the mooring ball is super secure. So yeah.
It still keeps me up at night though, like, because we don't know the mooring ball.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, we're gonna get some breakfast going, and then today is like prepping the boat for getting it into passage mode, which pretty much just means bringing Rocco, like disassembling him and bringing him up on the foredeck and rigging up some lines. And yeah, then the afternoon we're actually sail back to Strangford Lough like anchorage where we were before, pick up a ball there that we were on, and that way we're much closer to the channel, so when we depart early tomorrow morning we'll just have less sailing to do. So
Yep.
yeah, so yeah, wow.
That's it.
All right, breakfast time.
Cheese and bacon sodas. Soda bread. Irish soda bread.
Shit is so good. So you're pan frying them.
Yeah. Fried eggs to put on top of them. They're pretty large, but this is also our brunch. So I think it's 2 meals for us. My mouth is watering. Darren just gave me a bite and it's delicious.
Yeah. Soda bread with fried egg and sriracha. Yeah, really good. I like the soda bread thing. I don't actually know what's different about it. I guess I have to look that up, but Irish soda bread and with cheese and bacon in it, really good.
Remind me of really large biscuits.
They are like large biscuits, aren't they?
Yeah. So I forgot my jacket, but it's a little chilly out here today because it's pretty windy. The sun came out. That was a surprise. I don't remember the last time it's been blue skies, sun's out. It is simply gorgeous.
So we're ready to sail. Amanda's gonna take charge of the boat and we're gonna sail off the mooring here. There's our mooring boat. We have 2 lines. I'll do one, get everything ready. She'll make sure the head sail's all ready to unfurl, and then we'll pop the other. This is should be a pretty easy escape because the wind's blowing us right downwind, right down the river where we need to go. Also, there's no boats around. It's high tide, so we have tons of maneuverability. And the wind's perfect. It's blowing like 15 knots or so, so it's like ideal to sail off the mooring again. So. Okay, captain has called release. Yeah. Yeah, roll it up. Okay, we're good. Got the motor started to get out from the shallow. So we're doing great now. We have 5 meters of depth. All right, so what could we have done differently? I don't know, actually. So we were on the wrong tack. So then we sailed, and I tried to sail up to get us speed, so then we could tack the boat, but there wasn't enough speed to pull up and make a tack up into the wind.
I know, actually.
So the boat
you know
stalled and then the bow blew off again.
I don't think we should have drifted back, like you said, without a sail. I should have slowly brought out sail.
Oh, maybe just put a little scrap out. Just
Yeah.
to have some, to get the bow to blow
To start
off.
blowing the bow off, or the wind and the current take us back past the buoy, but we should have had a little bit of sail out to pull it off the bow. We know our bow doesn't pull off the way we want to.
Nice recovery though. I'm glad we pre-warmed the engine.
Yeah.
Old Perkins fired right up. Just going down this river. Woo. And we're gonna go dead downwind and then kind of head out and come back to this anchorage right here.
I didn't tidy any of these lines, but it's all good. We will just take a nice deep breath and we'll go outside. We'll observe the blue sky and the green pastures and come back and do that later.
If you've made it this far in our journey through Strangford Lough, thanks for watching. And if you like our content, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more content like this. Or support us even further and consider becoming a patron. Now let's end with a good old-fashioned sailing montage.
Oh, I just pooped.
Lawn, there's lawnscaping. Is that a thing? Landscaping.
Makes me hungry.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry. Looking at these cows.
I like the bull has a sweet nose ring.
Don't all bulls have nose rings?
No, it's not how bulls work. What happened?
The vicious creatures. It looks like this crab exploded, but I think it's actually from birds. They came over here and feasted on our deck. Had a nice crab dinner.
They didn't leave us any. Look at this mess. Just stuff everywhere. No smell.